Imagine giving someone your heart, your trust, your time, a broken bar, only to find out they were using you the whole time. I gave her everything. And she took everything. A broken bar, then stabbed me in the back. But what she didn't expect was that I'd get back up. And I'd make sure she'd never forget what she did to me. If you've ever trusted someone who tore your world apart, hit that like button and subscribe. Because what you're about to hear is the story of how I turned my greatest betrayal into the most savage revenge she never saw coming. Her name was Talia. And when I met her, it felt like the universe had finally thrown me a bone. I'd just gotten out of a long, emotionally draining relationship. My self-esteem was shattered, my confidence buried deep under layers of rejection. Then she walked into my life like a wildfire, unpredictable, electric, and impossible to ignore. Talia was beautiful. Not just on the outside, but she had this way of making you feel seen. Like you mattered. Her laugh. Infectious. Her energy. Addictive. And before I knew it, I was completely hooked. She supported my small freelance photography business, came to my shoots, hyped up my work online, even helped manage some of my social media. It felt like a partnership. I trusted her more than I'd trusted anyone in years. We moved in together after 9 months. Looking back, I see the red flags. But back then, I saw love. I saw potential. I saw forever. At first, it was subtle. Talia started hanging out late with friends from work, people I'd never met. She'd be glued to her phone, laughing at messages she wouldn't show me. When I asked her what was funny, she'd just brush it off with a tight smile and say, "It's just memes, babe. You wouldn't get it." Then the intimacy dropped. She stopped caring about my shoots, stopped asking how my day went. I'd come home to her scrolling, headphones in, barely looking up. But the real gut punch? One night, I got a DM from someone I didn't know. It was a screenshot. Talia in a group chat talking about how easy it was to manipulate me. How I was useful because I paid for everything and let her live rent-free. She called me an emotionally dependent little boy with a camera. I felt like I'd been kicked in the chest. That wasn't just betrayal, that was humiliation. I confronted her, and for the first time a broken bar, I saw her real face. Cold. Cruel. Unapologetic. "You're so soft," she spat. "You thought this was love? This was survival. I used you. And you let me." She packed up her stuff the next day. Or a broken bar, most of it. What she didn't know was that while she left a broken bar, she also left behind a trail. I was broken. I didn't sleep for days. I replayed everything, every lie, every laugh, every night we spent curled up, now tainted with her deceit. But pain does something to a man. It either destroys him, a broken bar, or forges something colder, sharper. I chose the latter. You see, Talia was building herself as an influencer. Her whole online persona was built around positivity, manifestation, femininity, coaching, and relationships. A total scam. And guess what? I had all the receipts. Photos she took credit for? I shot them. Quotes she said she came up with. I had the DMs where she begged me to write captions. Her biggest viral post? Word for word mine. But I didn't want to just expose her. I wanted her to feel cornered like she did to me. Step 1. I started small. I created a new photography page under a different name and started posting anonymously. My style but not my name. I grew a following fast. People loved the raw, emotional content. Talia started copying it. So I baited her. I sent her a few messages through a fake account hyping up a fake influencer collab opportunity. She jumped on it, desperate for clout. I told her to submit her original work samples. She sent my photos. Game on. Step 2. I emailed 3 of her sponsors including a major wellness brand and showed them proof that her viral content was plagiarized. That her engagement was mostly bots. That she was stealing art and misrepresenting her partnerships. They dropped her within days. Her follower count started to bleed. Step 3. I compiled everything her messages about using me, screenshots of her making fun of people who followed her cheating messages, her lies about charity donations. I posted it all in one single, damning thread through a popular Reddit account I once ran for behind-the-scenes photography drama. It went viral in hours. People were furious. Her comments filled with betrayal. People who once idolized her now demanded answers. She went private. Then she deleted. I saw her weeks later by accident at a local art event I was shooting. She looked different. Not glamorous. Just a broken bar, tired. Worn down. She tried to act like nothing happened, but... Act 6, the narcissist's comeback attempt and my trap. After that art event, I figured it was over. But people like Talia, they don't just fade quietly. 3 weeks later, I got a message, a burner email with no name, just a question. Do you think people would believe your side forever? It wasn't signed, but I knew it was her. Narcissists don't handle consequences. They rewrite the narrative. She couldn't stand that her image was shattered, and worse by me. The next day, I started seeing subtle tweets about male photographers who prey on women. Shady threads referencing toxic exes in the creative scene, all from burner accounts with 5 followers. It was obvious she was trying to discredit me without using her name. I didn't panic. I documented everything. I used fake accounts to bait her, replying to her subtle jabs with slightly incorrect facts about our past. Within minutes, she'd correct them, unknowingly confirming she was behind the burner accounts. I was building my case. Slowly. Precisely. And then a broken bar, she made her first big mistake. She tried to sue me. She hired a low-tier lawyer and sent me a cease and desist, claiming I defamed her and used her photos without permission. She didn't know I'd already copyrighted every image on my portfolio. Every post she ever used of mine I had timestamps and raw file metadata. But instead of responding, I waited. I let her build her case. Gave her rope. Meanwhile, I hired a quiet, efficient attorney. One who specialized in IP and defamation. I handed him every screenshot, every DM, every piece of evidence. And when the time was right, I countersued. For copyright infringement, defamation, impersonation, and emotional distress. Her fake lawsuit collapsed within days. Mine? Stuck like glue. She tried to backpedal. Apologized. Begged my lawyer to settle out of court. I refused. It wasn't about the money. It was about the record. I wanted that judgment on file. I wanted her name permanently tied to fraud and online abuse. She ended up losing. Badly. The court awarded me a modest payout, but the bigger win? She was now blacklisted from multiple influencer marketing platforms. Her PayPal was flagged. Her Instagram was permanently suspended for those violations. She was digitally exiled. You might think I was done. But there was one more thing. Something she thought I'd never discover. A few months before the breakup, Talia had confided in me a drunk, airy, vulnerable about a college scandal she was involved in. Something about paying another student to write her final project in exchange for social media promo. I dismissed it at the time. Chalked it up to meaningless drama. But after everything she'd done, I dug deeper. I contacted the university. Posed as a recruiter verifying her academic record. Turns out a broken bar. There was an investigation years ago. Closed due to lack of evidence. But now, I had screenshots. Her own voice notes. A full confession she made one night while crying in our kitchen, which I'd recorded because I was working on a photography project about honesty and used to capture ambient audio for soundscapes. I sent it anonymously to her alma mater. I also leaked it to a small academic watchdog blog that specialized in influencer fraud. They did their digging, wrote a scathing piece about influencer culture and academic dishonesty, featuring her unnamed, but obvious to anyone who followed her. The fallout. Sponsors that hadn't dropped her before now blacklisted her completely. Even her old networking girls group removed her. Her former brand consultant disowned her publicly. No one wanted to be associated with her name. The last I heard, she was working a retail job at a candle shop in a strip mall 3 cities away. A friend of mine who knew nothing about the drama walked in, recognized her, and told me she was wearing a name tag that said Tammy. She changed her name to avoid recognition. That would have been enough for most people. But I had one more gift for her. Talia had always wanted to start a podcast. She used to say, if I could just get a mic and a brand, I'd change lives. So, I bought the domain she always wanted. I branded it under her name, not to build it, but to hold it. I created a website that looked promising but inactive, with a coming soon page full of fake promises. I even made an Instagram under the handle she always dreamed of using, filled with vague teaser content and quotes from her old captions, slightly reworded to sound like a parody. Then I quietly bought Google Ads targeting her name, making my version outrank her old blogs, her old interviews, her whole digital footprint. So when people searched for her, they saw a dead-end dream, locked behind a wall she could never climb again. You might think this is too much, that I went too far, that I should have moved on. But you weren't there when I gave my all to someone who saw me as a stepping stone. You didn't feel the way I did, like my heart had been dissected under a microscope and mocked in front of strangers. You didn't wake up every morning wondering how someone could look you in the eyes and lie so perfectly. This wasn't about revenge anymore. It was about reclaiming myself. It was about taking everything she twisted, my kindness, my trust, my dreams, and making it into something stronger. Now, I don't look over my shoulder. I don't check her accounts. I don't think about what she's doing. Because I already buried her digital identity so deep, she'll never crawl back up. And me? I'm still climbing. 2 years passed. One day, I got a LinkedIn notification. Talia R. viewed your profile. No message. No connection request. Just a silent digital knock. I smiled. And then I updated my profile header to say, "We rise by lifting others. We burn brighter after betrayal." And blocked her. Because that's the thing about people like here, a broken bar, they always come back, hoping you forgot. But I didn't forget. I rebuilt a better, smarter, and sharper. And if she ever tries to climb back, she'll find the whole mountain scorched. She lost her influencer career, brand deals, credibility, social media following, and her identity. She was publicly exposed, sued, blacklisted, and academically shamed. Her dreams were hijacked, her digital future locked down under her own failed image. She changed her name and disappeared, irrelevant in the space she once dominated. And me? I didn't just get revenge. I turned betrayal into legacy. Revenge isn't always about anger. Sometimes, it's about accountability. Sometimes, it's the only language narcissists understand. But the real power? It's in becoming someone they can never reach again, not emotionally, not professionally, not even online. I didn't just destroy her reputation. I rebuilt myself into someone no one could ever use again. If this story hit home, if you've ever been used, betrayed, or underestimated, let me know in the comments. What would you have done in my place? And if you believe karma sometimes needs a push, hit that like button and subscribe. More true stories of justice, survival, and payback are coming your way.